Welcome to episode 9 of Katanagatari. Last time we had the robot sword, which was pretty cool, and they were looking for Kiki Shikizaki's workshop. So we'll see how that goes, what we get up to this week. Also, for the books, I have finished all the books that are currently released in English, which is the first 6, so this will be the last time I talk about them during the run of this show, but I do want to talk about them quite a bit during the discussion after the reaction, because in books 5 and 6 there are some pretty interesting changes that I'd like to talk about. But yeah, for now, just talk about the show. Let's watch episode 9. Got the subtitles and the timer here if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the full episode yourself. But either way, let's go ahead and watch in 3, 2, 1, play. Dewa? I couldn't read that fast. So we've got Togame playing Shogi, I believe it is. Alright, she beat her at that game, so now she has to fight Shichika. Is this one of the swords? Her hair is... her eyes... We're just jumping right into this, right in the middle, huh? She's not really willing to fight the Kyotoryu. She's offended. Whoa, so she made him wear armor because she wouldn't fight an unarmed man. So what's with her hair? Is that thing the sword? We've just jumped right into this. Togame beat her at the game, so she has to fight Chichika for the sword. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Didn't expect to just jump right into it like that. But yeah, while the OP is playing, let me just say that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, because we got a new episode of Katanagatari every Wednesday, in addition to the other videos that I upload every single day of the week. Also, check out my links down in the description below. You've got Twitter and Discord if you want to come talk, hang out, all that good stuff. And Patreon. Supporting me on Patreon helps the channel to thrive and continue existing, and you get to see the videos early, and choose which shows I watch, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all down there. And let's just watch the show now. Like I said, I will talk about the books some in the discussion at the end. Mostly 5 and a little bit of 6. But yeah, the fact that her hair looks like a sword, I'm very curious what's going on with that. There's only 3 Maniwa left. After the turtle guy showed up, did nothing, and died last time. And that is definitely a fight that I expect to see. Although since they're showing it in the OP, it might never actually happen. or it will, but they won't show it. Oto Nokogiri saw the king. Yeah, I saw the king. He was over there. The 9th month. 9th sword. Playing shogi. Little dogs. So they had to play her in shogi. Interesting. Her eyes are very strange too. Like little houses. Chichika couldn't fight the way that she wanted him to, I guess. Like, wearing armor like that and wielding a sword, she wouldn't fight him otherwise, and he can't fight that way. I don't know, it's just weird genetics. Butterfingers. Yeah, she seemed pretty normal-ish from what we saw. Why is that? What is special about this one? Okay, why is that? Is that all it has going for it, or is there something else? Kingship. Probably. Is that why it's related to shogi? I don't know anything about shogi, but if it's anything like chess, then there's kings. Okay, so she's pretty good. All right, body slam, cheerio. Yeah, usually. You've come up with some decent ones recently. Well, that's fine. You just have to come up with the scheme. He'll do it. Just keep the foot right on the hit. But Togame won. She splits her talents between the two. Let's get some good shogi metaphors going on in a fight. As if I know anything about shogi. Yeah, she wasn't too old looking. Yeah, I don't think you could tell most people's ages, honestly. She's not. Togame is older than you. I thought you knew that. She is, right? Obviously. Nice. The shogi or the sword fight? So it was unfair because he sucked too much. It was unfair because you put him in a position that made him that way because it's not his fighting style. He's gonna have to learn to use a real sword. That's the only way she will fight him. That's interesting. I mean, if you were forced to fight in his style, you'd die immediately, you know? Maniwa? You're pinging, all three of them are here. He's got his new arm, which looks like a... The arm is a thing that's talked about in the books that I will talk about in the discussion. But for now, it looks like Kawa Uso's arm or something. It looks... I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. That's not what it is in the book. Okay, it is Kawa Uso's arm. Maybe he puts that on later, but that's not how it is at first in the books. So the Maniwa are onto something here at least. They found one. Good for them. Alright, there's our Maniwa check-in for now. Yeah, I guess he just gets to wield a sword now. A sword shouldn't wield a sword, but you're gonna have to. Yeah, it's a new adventure, something new. Could be fun. Can he possibly? Alright, jealous. Can he possibly learn the sword from the horrible state that he's in now to the point where he can beat her? You gotta have a good ass strategy, or find some weird way to do it. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't want to fight, she doesn't want to have an advantage, and she wouldn't understand that she didn't. Real close, real kissy face. Yeah, she's gonna hold to her ideals, and you're not gonna convince her otherwise. Doesn't have any students. Nobody can tolerate her as a teacher. She's all wrapped up. Damn. Hopefully, you do come up with some good plans. Or just lay down in the bed. Okay, then. That hair. Is there something to that, or is it literally just a aesthetic thing? It just looks cool. She's very strict, very serious and proper about this. Wow. Gonna teach him how to talk properly too. Clean the floors. You're gonna go do. Okay, you're just gonna show up. Could stay behind and work on your schemes, or you're just gonna do that, I guess. Oh no, they're gonna be close together on the floor, sweaty. Oh no. What a misunderstanding! I can't believe it. The horror. A bug. All life is precious. The shoujo version. Well, okay then. All right, sword training. This is not gonna work. I don't know how this is gonna play out at all because he just can't do it. Maybe we'll discover like the underlying reason. It's weird. It's like it gleams like a sword, but then it like swings like a. It's weird. Maybe we'll discover some weird underlying reason for why the Kyotoryu cannot wield a sword and fix it. But I don't know. You accomplished nothing today, Togame. You did nothing. I mean, you had to know it was pretty hard, considering you can't wield one. Oh no, he kinda likes it. Mm hmm. She's so mad. Up her swings, huh? She did. A little bit. You go to sleep then, sure. We'll see where this leads. Ripping your damn clothes. She's just gonna walk in at all the worst times and immediately run away to not get the full picture. Nice. Either stay away or stay the whole time so that you can have the full story of what's happening rather than be a goober about it. Rough, huh? Pretty amazing. In the bath, if you know what I'm saying, Chogame, huh? Sort of life, that's what I call my penis, obviously. How nice. She's upset that he's late, waited for him before she would eat. Oh, he ate with her? Oh, shit. She was trying to be the good waifu and wait for him to get home to eat. You also do have the option, Togame, of acting like a normal human and just, talking about it and not freaking out that he ate food. Curve, huh? I'm sure there's plenty of curves. Scarf that shit down, okay? Is he able to at least hold on to the sword yet? That's step one, not dropping it. You've got a ways to go, if that's step one. I don't know if he's past that yet. Trying to appeal to him with food. Get him back on her side. Walking on your toes. Not. Oh my god, ew! What is that? What is happening? That was disgusting. I liked it. It was funny. That was weird. What the fuck was that? Oh, that was weird as shit. That was awesome. I want to try to emulate that, but I might break my back. I don't think it's possible. Oh, yay, a thing that Togame can walk in on. Oh no! This is an unexpected development of cosmic proportions. A misunderstanding the likes of which this anime viewer has never seen before. And she just ran off immediately again, but left the food. Maybe he'll catch on. Is she standing up? Was she still on her knees? There's no way she was standing up, right? She's not that small. Nice. But maybe he'll figure it out. Maybe at this point he is intuitive enough to know what jealousy looks like, having experienced it himself. Rallying cry. Yes, indeed. Can you hold the sword? Well, what are you gonna do? He hasn't made any progress. We got a month-to-month schedule for these book/episode releases. We can't be here for that long. Nice. Moving my body, huh? He's holding on to it. Look at that. What a man. He cannot drop the sword. No, I think he's just incompetent. Yeah, she's pretty different. I wonder why that is. There's no Shikizaki poison. It's just a personal thing. And that's it? It's just a normal ass looking sword? And all it is that it doesn't have his poison? That's in which case it's just a sword? Is there nothing else to it? If it's just a sword with no special properties, and it doesn't have the Shikizaki poison, how is it even a Shikizaki blade? How is it not just a sword? How can it be used in any way to help anyone with anything more than another sword could? We'll see. Maybe he'll learn shogi. Wonder if that would be harder than learning swordplay. But yeah, she had to take over the sword rather than shogi. So she values this sword for how it affected her. It clearly affected her in some way, despite not having the poison. It has. So it clearly has some aura to it, but just not in the same way the other ones do. Yeah, that would be really good for her cause. A life of. Oh, a life of love. Wow. Pretty different than a lot of the other wielders. Since you'll be the last one, she wants to kind of go out with a bang. And then what about you? About being the last Kyotoryu. That could be a thing, too. That's not something that should die out. Really? So it's not even a sword. It's like a wooden practice sword. But it doesn't cut, but it will like fuck you up. It'll cause like blunt force trauma. Okay, interesting. So it's just a stick. It's not a sword. It's just a club. Okay. Well, this girl denies everything, so Togame will affirm everything. Of course you did. A little bit. They're doing pretty well. You have guns. Is Emon Zaimon here, or is she just talking to herself? Okay, he's here. Yes? You think so? Maybe he's not here. Maybe she thought he was here. Then he left. Okay. So they got the thing. They got the sword. Okay, the poison is... So we've got Shijika and Togame with one that has no poison, and this one that has the strongest poison. So it'll just like turn you into a murderous psychopath if you touch it or something? Yeah, you guys aren't doing great. Yeah, you have other people to deal with. I think Ento Jiu is the one they have, the guns. Doesn't know anything about the other ones. Can you? So because he has Kawa Uso's hand, he can use his ninpo, but he hasn't mastered it. He's no Nanami. Go to where Umigame died to try to find out what happened to him, who killed him. Penguin's a nice little boy. He's a quiet little penguin. They got buried, I believe. I think Nanami did that for them. So what happens when you wield this sword with the strong poison? That's a pretty cool looking shot. Like the The ground looks neat. Okay, we're going back here. Whoa. You're being punished because I've misinterpreted everything. I mean, what else do you want him to do? That's the only path you guys have for getting this sword right now. You have no other schemes. You've contributed nothing. You have come up with no scheme. So what do you want him to do? He is. She's nice. That's fine. Don't have to kill her or anything. They've got a bit of a bond. That was a hell of a face. You did? Okay, well, I've underestimated you then. I'm sorry. She has a scheme, which you're really gonna need, because there's no way he's gonna defeat her in swordplay. Really? How is he gonna do it? These shots are making her look crazy. Most likely, yeah. I'd like to know myself. The fact that he can't wield a sword? Yeah, the fact that Konayuki was inexperienced, which made her hard to read. I think there's a difference between inexperienced and literally can't even hold the sword. Okay. It's a hell of a scheme. I mean, once you're in the battle, you can just drop the sword and then hit her with a Kyotoryu move before she can see what's going on. Oh, is the duck girl gonna die? He's going for the head. That's right. And he might take it. Well, I mean, Hoa went off with it, but maybe at some point he'll get it from them. I think that's probably going to happen. It's a shame. She's rather attractive. What is this? This is an interesting ninpo. Got all our whips here. Probably not going to matter too much to this guy. Pretty cool, though. Whoa, they took his swords. I didn't think he'd be able to cut them or anything, but he just straight up took his swords. She's got pretty good command over those things. She's still got to die. Why tell him that? Just because? Because you think you're going to win anyway? Damn. He was fast, but she was right on it. It's actually a pretty decent fight with a member of the Maniwa. Usually they just die. Standing just out of reach. I don't think you will. I don't know what he's gonna do, though. What's he gonna pull? What's he got in there? The guns? He just shot... Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, he brought the fucking guns. You brought whips to a gunfight. I don't see any bullet wounds, but okay. Where did she get shot? All in the stomach? There's no blood anywhere, but whatever. It's fine. Just pulled out a fuck... He just Indiana Jones'd it. She's got her shit and like fucking... And he's like... Bam. Well, you can go be with Chocho now. Well, 10 down. We got a penguin and a phoenix left. There goes Oshidori. You don't want to fight her dirty. She's so honorable and nice. No, that's not what it's about. We were fucking. Straight up. Have there been any other Maniwa who've put up that kind of fight? I'm trying to think. Kyoken in Koniyuki's body, you know, she kind of had some stuff going for her. Okay, thank God. Anyway. It sucks. You are? Are you saying you're not? Are you not an amp? You said you hadn't made any progress. Yes, you are an amp. You said you haven't made much progress. 10 days is still an amateur. Oh. Well then, okay. Wow. So get her to agree to the match, and then, I don't know. Okay. So we're not just gonna do this infinitely. If you lose here, then go. Shogi first, though. You have to do the shogi again? They had to play 9 ass games of shogi? Alright. Here we go with the sword and the armor. So how the hell is this gonna play out? In a way, yeah. Show that she taught you something. Depends on how you do it. Nice. Good start. Good start. It's fine. I got this. Hey. There it is. Let's go. The the face off, the stare down. What the hell's he gonna do? Was he holding it wrong on purpose, feigning ignorance, or did he just actually get it wrong? She. See, you can't not have the shogi metaphor within the fight when you've got shogi in the episode. Did she teach him shogi? Did she teach him what those things mean? No, but she's predicting what she would do because she noticed that her moves were based on shogi. She learned through all the shogi games what kind of game she plays, which let her know how she fights, and now it's just distracting her. I think. Maybe she even lost some of those games on purpose so she could have more games to see more of her playstyle. Wow. Oh well, you may not have stuck the landing. Anticlimactic. That's literally every fight in this show except for like one. But yeah. Didn't stick the landing, but that's not what matters. Interesting method of winning. I didn't expect it. Is there a rule against that? I mean, you can talk. It's not, maybe if you want to speak in just like the most honorable terms possible, as being fair, you could object to it, but, I don't know if it's strictly against rules. Okay. You incorporated shogi, so it's fine. I guess that's what her eyes were meant to look like, shogi pieces. Took me the entire episode to put that together. Okay, I guess that happened then. So now she saw that he really did have skills, just in a different field. I guess you could put it that way. Maybe you can go off and live this other life that you didn't have. You're young, you've got time to go do stuff. Play shogi, find love. She was nice. Glad we met her later rather than like one of the first few where he was just killing everybody. Oh, okay. What a change in demeanor. Ah. We're getting down to the wire. They have one. Emon, Zaimon, and Hite have one. And then there's whatever the other one is. Yeah, is he gonna need to use a sword again? What about General Kyu? Well, that is an interesting question. Yeah, there wasn't really that much to it. So why couldn't he collect this blade? There's something even more hidden. Huh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, looks like we've got some mystery for the last couple episodes. Something deeper in the story that we don't know about yet. Well, she's got total control over him now. Now that she can bring up the possibility of a kiss. All right, here we have him again, Seito Hakari. There's one of the broken things to show that Oshidori is dead. Is Seito Hakari the one they have, or is it the other one? Her hidden birthplace? Well, they're graves. So what happened to Kiki Shikizaki's workshop? Did we just not find that? We just didn't find that? I forgot about that. There was just gold there that they didn't see. But yeah, that was episode 9. And that'll be that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Alright, episode 9. Like I said, I want to talk about the books some in this discussion, and this episode gave me a pretty good opportunity to do that, because a big thing that I want to talk about is Ho-Oh and his whole arm situation, which plays out kind of differently from what I've read in the books. I haven't gotten this far, I've only read through book 6, but some of the changes, mostly in book 5, were interesting. So the fact that we see in this episode that Ho-Oh has Kawauso's arm, which is what it looked like last time. I noticed that he had an arm back and it looked like a weird, big, differently colored kind of arm, and then seeing it in this one, I'm like, is that Kawauso's arm? And then sure enough it is. He can reattach people's body parts to some extent at least, probably not like the head, but everything else, and he can use their abilities, not Nanami level, but he can use them, can work on mastering them over time. So that's pretty cool. It's Phoenix-like, not quite immortal, I guess. I imagine the head would be, pretty fatal. And he doesn't just regrow stuff, he's got to get new parts. But either way, it's a cool way to incorporate a Phoenix-esque ability for his ninpo. But yeah, with the books, Book 5 I liked a lot better than Episode 5. I still don't think it's one of the stronger ones, just because it's very simple. One of the simpler stories and simpler opponents. But I thought that the book was better than the episode. But in the episode, in Episode 5, Ho-Oh beat up some random pirates. And it was a short scene, so it wasn't a huge deal, but it had no purpose whatsoever. Like, they finished their conversation, some pirates came out and were like, "Fur-diddy-dur-diddy-dur," and then Ho-Oh was like, "I'm gonna decapitate you," and then he did, and then we didn't even see it, so it didn't even, like, show Ninpo from her or anything. I was like, okay, what was the point of that? In the book, it had a point, because, well, first of all, before fighting Azekura, or whatever his name was, who had the armor, normally people had to fight, like, his subordinates. They had to fight other pirates. I think that there were, like, 8. And then it was like a tournament type thing. You beat all of them and work your way up to fighting him, and it's a big event. It's a big show. But that wasn't the case in the episode. They removed all that entirely, just streamlined it just to get him to fight the main guy immediately. But what happened was, the random guy who we saw fighting at the beginning of episode 5, he actually took out like 5 of Azekura's dudes, and they're like incapacitated or dead or something. So there's only 3 more, and Shichika is going to have to fight those 3 before fighting Azekura. But those random-ass pirates that Ho-Oh killed, those were those 3 guys, which lets Shichika just skip straight to fighting Azekura. Not only that, but it's reported that one of the guys has their left arms missing. And Shichika and Togame, as soon as they hear about that in Book 5, immediately speculate, oh, what if Ho-Oh took it and is able to use it as his own left arm? So that's the point of that scene. He takes one of their arms, and they immediately think of that, and then when they see Ho-Oh again in Book 6, he has his left arm back. He took one of those guys' arms and put it on his own. Clearly was not the case in the show. When he showed up in episode 6, he didn't have an arm. He only had it last time we saw him in episode 8, and it's Kawa Uso's. Since I've only read up to book 6, I don't know what happens later in the books. Maybe later he replaces that arm with Kawa Uso's to allow the scene in this episode to happen. And I actually understand them kind of changing it, if that is the case. Like, just cut out the fact that he got the other guy's arm back and just have him get Kawa Uso's. But in that case, cut out the scene where he kills those guys, because the only point of that scene was that he took one of their arms. And also that beating them let Shichika go straight to Azekura, which was another plot point that you cut out of the show. So, I actually understand them doing it that way, if that's how it plays out in the books. If it's not, then that's really weird, but I imagine it would be, because him using Kawa Uso's Ninpo is important. I also enjoyed Azekura's backstory in the book more. It was more detailed. There was just a lot of small things that made it better. And the 6th book gave me some information that I was wondering about as well. I had wondered, like, with Shikizaki making this really heavy sword, how did anybody, like, ever wield it other than the Itazoras? Like, how did he wield it himself? How did it get there? They say, it might have been speculation, but I think they say that it was made there. So that explains that. It was just made there and left there. Also in the show, Kyoken switching bodies, the old body she was in just, like, dissolved. And I was like, oh, well, shit, that means that Konayuki can't be saved. That's not how it happened in the book. Her old body was just there. I guess whoever had inhabited it before probably is no longer there. I don't know how it works exactly. But she actually destroyed her old body herself when she moved into Konayuki's body and was wielding the sword. She was like, oh yeah, I have all this monstrous strength, and just, like, hacked her old body apart with the sword as a way to test out her new strength and just go crazy swinging the sword. So that was different and better, honestly. And then the hitting the tattoos kind of made more sense with the way they described it, because they described it as being a shockwave that is sent across the skin and the outside of somebody's body, and, like, the opposite of the armor piercing technique, where it's really meant to just affect the outside and not deal lethal damage within. Can go wrong, but mainly if you do it right, it's meant to be a shockwave across the skin, spreading across all the tattoos. So yeah. And it also shows a little bit of Nanami's perspective when she got Soto the twin, or when she could have, because I had questioned, if she copied their strength and could lift it, why didn't she take it? And she basically says, oh, well, this isn't the sword for me because I can't wield its heaviness for too long, because I don't have the stamina for it. So I'll just leave it here and an easy place for Shichika to find. So that's how Konayuki actually found it so quick. She didn't burrow into the snow and into their buried village. Nanami just left it somewhere. And I probably could have figured that out, that she just didn't take it because it wouldn't work with her stamina, but it was nice to have it in there. But anyway, with episode 9, I really enjoyed the opponent this time. The sword itself is one of the most basic, or maybe the basic one so far. It's got some pretty interesting things to it, but for the most part it's very simple. But its wielder was interesting, and her relationship with Shichika was good, and I actually enjoyed the Maniwa plot in this one as well. Some things that I wasn't that into were Togame, honestly, in this episode, and the one Princess Hite scene. I'll just talk about those really quick. There was a small scene with Princess Hite where she just kind of babbles nonsense. Could have probably been removed entirely. I get the gist of what she was saying, talking about Togame's strengths, the way she schemes and thinks up things while also, in some ways, not thinking totally logically. She'll come up with schemes the way that she does. She'll think all these intricate things to come up with a scheme, but there might be some other areas that she forgets to think things through. And that's basically what she's saying, just talking about Togame's strengths and weaknesses and her strengths and weaknesses, and Togame always beats her down and she denies and Togame affirms, and you've got a 50-50 chance of the last sword. It's a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter and need to be said right now, and it's a little too roundabout, a little too it's a little too much for the point that's being made. It's not that interesting of a thing that she's saying that it needs to take that long to say it. So it's kind of that really didn't need to be there. Turns out she wasn't even talking to anybody because Emon Simon was already gone. So yeah, that scene was not really, wasn't really into that. And then Togame in this episode, I haven't really made it a secret that a lot of the time she does annoy me. She has good points as well, and she has moments that I've really liked, but she's also had a lot of moments that I don't, because I've just found her a little annoying. And this was peak annoying Togame, honestly. The entire episode is her just running around, comedically misunderstanding everything that's happening between Shichika and this girl. And obviously it's pretty self-aware of that. It's playing up on classic misunderstanding tropes and the shoujo artwork that she envisions and everything. Obviously, it's meant to be pretty tongue-in-cheek and funny, but I didn't find it funny. I just found it to be a waste of time. Parts of it that I like are the fact that we get to see Shichika kind of having power in the relationship in a way. He's not the only one who will be jealous, She will get jealous of him as well and act like this. But a lot of it just feels very tsundere, no, why am I feeling like this? But I do like that aspect of it. I do like that she kissed him. I like that. That was enjoyable. And that she can hold that over him now, oh, I'll kiss you again. But for the most part, her just walking in, misunderstanding, running away. It's okay, sure, just do that exact thing several times, and then she just kind of yells about it, and it's just kind of annoying. Just kind of crying and yelling, and she won't talk to him. She never comes, she never stays to see the full scene. She just always sees this 1 second glimpse of the worst possible moment, which again, that's the point, that's the joke. It's just and I guess that's a lot of what Hite was talking about, that while coming up with crazy schemes, she might not think more down-to-earth, regular things through all that well, and might have weird tantrums about stuff like this. But again, I don't think that really warrants the existence of that Hite scene. We can see that ourselves, and we kind of know that already. But yeah, a lot of it I just found to be her being kind of obnoxious. I know you're kind of treating it in a funny way, but it is still what it is. It is still just her misunderstanding things that overall just feels like a waste of time. I feel like to strengthen her relationship with Shichika, make her jealous, I don't know, for me personally, could have been done in a better way. Couple that with the fact that for most of the episode, she seemed to be doing nothing, while Shichika's putting in the sword training, and we're always talking about her schemes and everything, and she's getting so mad even though she told him to do this, and the entire time it seemed like she was just contributing nothing. Towards the end, her scheme did allow him to win, which was a good Togame moment. I did like that, but just for most of the episode, we didn't know that. We didn't know that was going to happen. It seemed like she wasn't even trying to come up with any schemes or do anything. It just seemed like she was sitting around yelling. So those were things I didn't like. But I really liked the wielder of the sword. I like her design a lot. The shogi tiles in the eyes. Like the hair blade, which when I saw the images of her in the preview or whatever, I was like, is the Shikizaki blade attached to her hair? What's going on? But it's just an aesthetic choice. It just looks like that, and that's really cool. The art and the character design in this show is really good, and that's just another one. I like that a lot. And her having this conflicting passion between shogi and swordplay, being similar to Shichika in a lot of ways, being somebody who took over this school of swordplay and thinks that it might end with her. And we get that little glimpse of Shichika that seems like he may have been thinking the same thing. We've never really heard him talk about that or anything, but that's totally possible. Like, where would the Kyotoryu go after him? Unless him and Togame get together, have a kid, he teaches him. Is that even something you would want to do? Do you want to continue the legacy of the Kyotoryu? Because what's interesting about this girl's way of fighting is that it's a sort of life. She doesn't believe in killing, won't even kill a little bug. And he says that that's a good thing. That's something that should prosper and propagate in this world of peace. And that, along with her just conflicting emotions between shogi and sword fighting. She was never really into this. She just wanted to play shogi and pursue her own life, but ended up taking over. And then the sword itself, how it has this like reverse poison effect. It's just kind of like a calming effect. You wield it, and they called it the King's Paradise. It just kind of, I guess it's kind of like I don't know if it's like a Zen state, but maybe like an inner peace of mind type thing when you wield it. And I like that Shichika brought up Meisai Saruga. That was a cool callback, because definitely would have been useful for her cause. And how she understood, like, yeah, I could give this up for the good of the nation. The good of the nation. Shichika even has a moment where he's like, oh yeah, because she doesn't know that it's for Togame's personal gain, but like, I could give this up for the good of the nation, but even though I'm not affected by Shikizaki's venom, because this sword is different, it was just a personal thing to her, because of the effects that it did have, because of the fact that it was handed down to her, and what it meant to her, and how it made her feel. And I liked that in her, and the shogi matches, and her honor, as being this strict, honorable, but very nice girl. Like, teaching Shichika all the ways, very, very specific. Gotta clean the dojo before we fight, gotta speak in the proper ways, teaching him everything. The fact that she wouldn't fight somebody with a handicap, she's not gonna fight this unarmed guy, she's too honorable for that. But she's also like very stuck in her ways, very true to her ideals. She's not gonna listen to them when they tell her that, no, this is my best possible way to fight you. The Kyotoryu is just that kind of thing. She's not going to listen to that. And the fact that she makes him undergo sword training, I really liked that a lot. That's cool. I didn't know if we would get any kind of like underlying reason for why the Kyotoryu can't wield swords, which we really didn't, and I don't think we will, and I'm fine with it just being like genetic. They just can't do it. It's just something about them where they just can't. Maybe it'll happen eventually, but to see him be so incompetent and to go through this funny stuff like that weird pose he was doing when she was trying to teach him, not even knowing how to hold it right, constantly dropping it. At the very least now, he can hold the sword for a little while and not drop it. Even at the very end, after he hit her, he still fell right after, which I thought was great. There was a lot of good stuff there. I really liked her. I liked their teacher-student relationship, how shogi played into the whole thing, because of course there's got to be some shogi type stuff going on in the fight when it eventually happens. And there was, in a way that I didn't expect, and I thought it was really cool. And I wasn't sure what was happening at first. It was fun just figuring it out, because I was like, did her and Shichika discuss shogi techniques, and she's going to tell him how to move like a shogi piece? That doesn't make sense. And that wasn't what was happening. I was like, did she memorize? I was thinking that maybe she based her fighting style off of shogi, because she is more passionate about shogi, and Togame was saying, like, I'm predicting all of your moves. I don't think that's quite what was happening either. I think it was just that she was, like playing a game of shogi out loud after studying her play style so often, probably losing some games on purpose just to view her shogi playing as much as possible, and just like playing this game of shogi, distracting her with that because she couldn't help but focus on it because shogi was more of a passion for her, giving Shichika a chance to come in there. And that's another good use of anticlimax, I think, because they even call it anticlimactic in this episode, and a lot of fights in the show are like that, but I think this is one that used it well. I thought that was really good. I enjoyed that, and that she got to see the Kyotoryu as well and see that, okay, I get it. Like, you really do have talent. I'm sorry for underestimating you. And she gets to just kind of be her own person now. It's totally happy ending for her, really. She can go off and try to live the kind of life that she wants. She's still very young. She has this opportunity. So, yeah, I actually really like that a lot. And the sword, like I said, not only this reverse venom effect, the King's Paradise, but the fact that it's just like a practice sword, but apparently really tough as well. Like Soto the Twin in some way, just without the heaviness. It's just whack people with it. It'll crush people. Very strange swords you came up with, Kiki Shikizaki, but the sword is definitely not the focus here. It was the wielder, and I liked her a lot. So it doesn't even really matter what the sword may have been lacking. Zanki might remain there at the school and everything, but overall, I think it'll be good for her in the long run. We also have a really interesting little mystery introduced related to the sword hunt, which is unexpected. Because we have, the reason he was getting the swords was for the sword Buddha, but then the real reason was to eliminate the swordsman, but then the real reason was to get the deviant blades. But there might be a real reason. Because more than any other sword, it's like, how could he not get this one? The other ones, even the ones that seem fairly unimpressive, like one that doesn't break, with the right wielder, can be used really well. This one, though, is a stick. It's just kind of a club. It can break your bones if it hits you, It's not, there's not really much to it. It doesn't have the venom. So they were questioning, what was it about this sword that made him unable to collect this one? Maybe there's more going on here to the sword hunt. So that's unexpected. I'm very curious to see how that plays out over the next few episodes. Then we have the Maniwa plot. In this episode, they found a sword as well. We're going off for one next time to Togame's birthplace. Should be pretty interesting there. The Maniwa have one, and Hite and Emonzaimon have one, so that's all the remaining three. The Maniwa found this one that, in contrast to the one that Shichika and Togame were dealing with this episode, has the strongest poison of them all. What exactly that will mean when somebody wields it, I don't know. I don't know if it'll just really enrage them, power them up, make them really crazy strong. I don't know how it'll affect somebody, but it's interesting to think about. And Oshidori, farewell, Cho-Cho's beloved. You can go be with him now. And when she stayed behind, it was obvious that she was going to die, but I did actually enjoy the fight. It was one of the best Maniwa fights. She actually got to do some stuff, and for a while it seemed like, oh shit, she's actually skilled. Cool, because a lot of the time the Mani would just die as soon as they show up, but for her to wield these whips, it was really cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the animation of it. Emonzaimon actually seeming like he might not know what to do here had he not had the guns. I like the artwork of it, like the location they were fighting in. It looked really good, and I love the ending of that fight as well, because I know there was another anticlimax that was really well done. Like I said in the reaction, it was Indiana Jones. She's got all this other shit. She's swinging it around and all this. He just pulls out guns. Bam, 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 and there you go. That was pretty great. So, yeah, one of the swords is it's just guns. It was cool to see them in action. And now we only have two Maniwa left. One of which has one of the Shikizaki blades. You got a little penguin hanging out down there. He's a cute little guy. Hope he doesn't die, but he probably will. But we'll see how it all goes now that we've got this further mystery to the sword hunt. I'm enjoying that. After Togame's little stint of jealousy this time, probably don't have to worry about anything like that again from here on out. I think what it did to them, how it affected their relationship, will probably be positive going forward. And I enjoyed a lot of this episode. There were just other parts that I didn't. But oh well, overall, it was a positive, because the main parts revolving around the sword and Zanki were good, and I even like the Maniwa stuff, surprisingly. A lot of the time, those guys are just like, yeah, I'm here, now I'm dead. Like the turtle. You know, at least she got to do stuff, Oshidori. She got to show some cool ninpo, be cool, have boobs. That's a positive. The turtle guy didn't have boobs. Why do I care about him? So that's about all I got. We can talk about it further in the comments down below if you want to say anything about the episode, if you feel differently about Togame or Hite's scene, or if you want to talk about any of the stuff I mentioned from the books or whatever. We can talk about it there, or on Twitter, Discord, whatever you want. Check all that stuff out down in the description below, along with the Patreon to help support the channel, subscribe, all that great stuff. I appreciate it all. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.